guys, Mr.105 here, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to the Total War Warhammer 3 Chaos Dwarf gameplay showcase. More specifically, showing the gameplay for the Chaos Dwarfs. So without further ado, let's watch. Starting things off with Astrategoff Iron Hand. Here we go. Woo! Oh, the epic showdown! Yes! Oh, look at him go! What's that? The wonder button! Hold that torch! Oh my god! Oh no! Poor Chaos Dwarfs. Huh? Wait. Oh, POV! You're in the battlefield! Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! Okay, I'm good. Oh, what's happening? Who's shooting him? Just saved my life. It's Astrategoff! He saved me! Ooh, he's picking up. Oh, thank you, Master. You saved my life. What? He just stepped on me.
Astrategoff. No, he's not a spacefaring metalhead. He's a mecha-wearing, magic-wielding, limb-petrified high priest of Hashut. And he's on a mission to prove his best sorcering days aren't yet behind him.
Look at his beard. Oh, it's like an evil version of Thorgrim Grudgebearer. Who needs a palanquin being carried by 4 dwarves when you can have a chair with legs?
Just to know, our angry little chaos friends have a nice variety of ranged, melee, cavalry, and artillery units, as well as enough cannon fodder to make the greenest of Skavens salivate.
Yes, of course.
Orc and goblin laborers offer an inexpensive front line that can be used to distract your enemy's army and control the flow of the battlefield. We'll use them in our approach to soak up arrows and conceal the units we actually care about. Meanwhile,
Whoa. Are the Chaos Dwarfs speaking a different language?
the Centaur boys are gonna loop around the back and harass their archers. Yep, you heard that right. Astragoff's legs are as swift as they are utterly terrifying.
He's going out in style. If you guys don't know why he's on that chair, or this just walking suit or whatever, it's because in lore, when Astrategoff used too much magic, that resulted him for turning his legs into stone. And that's why he made this suit, so that he can maneuver the battlefield even though he can't walk anymore.
Centaur blunderbusses deflect the bulk of the orcs, and the result is a similar consistency to mushy cheese. What's left now is for Iron Hand to do his thing.
Boom! Wait, what? Ooh! He's playing the dwarf music. Oh! Ice guess we's not prepared for these evil stunties. Oh, look at the bull centaurs! Oh, just smashing the goblins. Victory!
Despite putting some greenskins in their place, Astrategoff is a far cry from his former glory.
Wow, we're in the campaign
A
map.
fact he'll need to overcome as he consolidates the orc-infested province of Zharr as Kul to reclaim his rightful place in the Tower of Zharr.
Yep.
But proving he's the one true leader of the Conclave isn't old Iron Hand's only goal. Oh no. A way into the domain of Hashut has shown itself, and, once breached, the Chaos Dwarfs can reap the most potent power known to Demon Dowie kind. Blood of Hashut.
This is kind of like saving Urson, but this time you are drilling straight to the center of the earth to find Hashut and get his blood so that their race can survive. Wow.
Astrategoff will need to build a drill. A very, very big drill. Which we can upgrade into level 2 and level 4 at the cost of a hefty sum of raw materials. Which means we'll need a strong economy. We'll return to the Great Drill of Hashut in a little bit, but for now, what better way to amass great wealth than with great violence?
Okay.
We're weakened, we're outnumbered, and we're on the offensive. Thankfully, the lore of Hashut with its many fiery boons comes in clutch.
That's the new lore of magic. Lore of Hashut. The first spell we got is Burning Rock. Causes moderate magical and fire damage. Spawns a moving vortex. Effective at long range. Strong versus multiple combatants. It requires line of sight to the target. Okay.
Burning Wrath is our bread and butter.
It's just a fireball.
Good damage, good range,
just
good
throws
buttons.
a fireball
Who
in the enemy.
doesn't like
Okay.
swirling death
Oh,
lava?
it can do a 360 swirly dirly. Get back there, you slave. And they're dead.
Ah, to the victor go the spoils. Another hard-won piece of the puzzle. Unlike every...
Oh wait, either you occupy as an outpost or occupy it as a factory. This is something else. I did know the Chaos Dwarfs can take settlements in 2 different ways, but what's so special about an outpost and a factory?
Unlike every other faction in the world, Chaos Dwarfs know the value of hard work, the worth of a sweaty brow and calloused palms. That's why Chaos Dwarfs don't build any old settlements, no. They build outposts, factories and towers. All tools of the unrelenting machine of industry. Outposts are needed to mine raw materials, factories turn those raw materials into ornaments and gold, and towers are our sprawling province capitals.
Yeah, that's how you make resources in real life. You know, like you chop the tree, then you go to a lumber mill to turn it into wood, like wooden planks and all that. That's basically what it is with the outposts and the factories. So outposts is like a place for getting raw materials, while the factories just turn them into resources.
But what do we build? Well, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration, and before we get there, let's rewind a little bit and take a deeper look at our economy. That's right, hold on to your seatbelt, I said economy. Chaos Dwarfs are industrious little fellas, and that's reflected in the way we'll manage our budding empire's resources. Behold, our new major currencies. Treasury, raw materials, ornaments, and labor. Treasury needs no explanation, it's shiny, it's heavy, we love it. Raw materials does what it says on the tin, needed for certain buildings and technologies, and can be converted into ornaments or gold in specific factory buildings. Our primary source of raw materials is from outpost strip mines, but we can also trade with it using military convoys, which unlock at turn 5.
Okay.
Armaments, primarily gained through factory assembly lines, armaments are used in the construction of advanced military buildings and some technologies. As with raw materials, we can trade armaments on military convoy expeditions for other goods. Labor, because all those tasty minerals aren't going to mine themselves. Labor directly affects the output of our raw materials. More strip mines requires more labor, and a dwindling workforce produces fewer raw materials. So keeping your control in check is advised. We can perform various actions with our labor force, increasing our gold stores or our conclave influence, or we can move labor around our sprawling empire to bolster provinces that might need the extra manpower. You may have guessed it, laborers are largely unpaid, gained from winning battles, and are usually greenskins. So, what to build? We've established that labor is important and its effectiveness is directly linked to a province's control. We need labor to mine raw materials, and those raw materials to produce armaments and other goods. I've got an idea, and feel free to disagree with me, that's fine, but I envision a Chaos Dwarf empire with districts. Here, in my homeland, I see the heart of my mining endeavors. 3 outposts and, keeping all those laborers in line, a tall, terrible tower. Yeah, let's do that. Our next province will be entirely factories, and that'll be our industrial district. Factories are too important to sleep on though, so we'll build a mixture for now and utilize the swap settlement feature when it's district time. One of the handiest uses for labor is instant construction. For example, we can kickstart our economy by throwing laborers at it, instantly building a money pit to get those.
So when you build buildings, you don't have to wait for 6 turns or 8 turns or 5 turns. You can just send laborers to do it faster.
Over in the tower, we'll want to work towards upgrading to rank 2 at the hefty cost of raw materials.
Oh, so you need raw materials to upgrade your tower. The outposts are used to make raw materials. Factories convert raw materials into armaments. And towers are just your basic big settlements. And you need raw materials to upgrade them. Interesting.
Will give us access to the lava fields, where we can churn out more centaurs and the great Taurus, amongst other handy benefits. More ranks eventually leads to the Lanasu.
What did he say?
Lanasu? Excuse me, sir. That's a Lamasu, not a Lanasu.
Before we move on, it's a good idea to get some technology brewing. For Chaos Dwarfs, the technology tree is split into 3 branches. Military, sorcery, and industry. No points for guessing which one does what, although our sorcery tree is also where we'll find our diplomatic boons. No wrong answers here, we can cater our society to fit very specific molds. Military powerhouse or economic marvel, the choice is ours. And we're going to choose a nice mixed spread. We'll start with Merchants Guild for the bonus to trade. It'll be a while until we need to worry about unlocking technologies with specific resources, so let's just push that out of our heads for now. And whilst we're pushing that out of our heads, let's push some new skills into Astrategoffs. Route Marcher, that's a given, and we'll drop points into Aspiring Presence now and Feather and Fodder later.
Oh, they made some changes.
We're playing quite cannon fodder heavy,
More
and
information
it's nice
for
if your
skill
meat shields
trees.
don't run away. At level 12, Astrategoff can unlock this lovely little joy, Master of the Conclave. Being quite so angry, expansive, and repugnant, the Chaos Dwarfs get a fairly bad rap abroad.
They breathe fire.
Anything we can do to soften that image will be handy in the long run. With our dashing Bull Centaur hero, we'll prioritize training where possible, and then
Bull Centaur
just make him a right good... What a beautiful bull man. What's his name?
Indeed.
Zorak. I think not. Welcome to the party, Natalie.
Why you bully me?
Whew, almost done with turn 1, my word. We'll just recruit some sneaky gobbos, another unit of Chaos Dwarf warriors, and some more cannon fodder, I mean labourers. Then it's all aboard the Chaos Dwarf Express to Murderville. Choo-choo.
Get your ass back here, boy!
Oh, I love that transition.
Dang, greenskins are holed up on some prime real estate. We'll spread our attackers, as is only correct and proper, to assault on 4 fronts. I know, full frontal charges with cavalry are frowned upon, but I can take them. Especially with a little help from the laws of a shut and fire.
Yeah, look at the Bull Centaur go.
Oh, lava stomp.
Oh,
You'll
I
have to
love
see
it.
As predicted, Astrategoff, Natalie, and their centaur children made light work of their orcish opponents. Elsewhere, we're making slow but steady progress into the din, and I can only imagine the furious indignation of the soon-to-be indentured locals.
Get blasted, boy. Transition! Look at them go!
With one entrance breached, we're free to sow chaotic seas with our cavalry.
Yeah, Bull Centaur! Oh, I love this ancient music. Okay, I thought it was Thor does, but it's just a Golden Lord, I think.
Oh, mecha body slam.
Cool, mecha body slam. I love it, CA! Let them go. Ooh. He dead.
Zorna's Call is once again united, and Astragoff's quest to re-establish his dominance within the Tower of Zharr can begin in earnest.
They don't speak English, they just speak like some sort of cursed Khazalid language.
To maintain control over our labour and contemplate where to forge ahead next. Remember, we'll be looking for a nice, nearby province to build our factories. The path to the east is tempting and opens us up to the mountains of Morn. Though the ogres are not a force to be taken lightly.
Oh, there's a
Either
dwarf.
way, the Saberskins are less than friendly. War
Beastmen
will
too.
sing in the mountains eventually. Tantalizingly close, the High Pass is our most obvious choice, and though these crumbling ruins may appear abandoned, they hum with the scratching machinations of Skaven.
David, yes.
Though is not as immediate a threat, the vampires and the orcs of the World Edge Mountain hold no love for us, and would stand fast in the face of our expansive ambitions.
Can you imagine the Chaos Dwarfs pushing into the Empire's land?
But not all our neighbours want us dead, and indeed our fellow Chaos Dwarfs also call these lands home. We would be wise to foster a strong relationship with our kind, for in a world that hates our very existence, they are our truest hope for an ally.
Wait, was that Gordo's backstabber?
You know what, let's just stomp on some rats.
Let's stop some saving. Come on me, you rat boys. Look at them go. Fireball. In your face. Woo! Oh, the Valkyrie music. I love this one. One touch. I just realized that Astrogod's army is mostly slaves. Love me some transition. Oh, look at the siege towers! They really do have a chimney on top. Go, Chaos Dwarfs! Get in there, boys! Stomp some rats, baby! Boom! Take all in the name of the Bull. They can use the underway too. Get in there, boys. Aha, look at them go.
classic ogres couldn't wait their turn. No matter what direction we started in, we were always going to end up in a situation like this.
Oh.
At least our tower will act as a barrier between the ogres and the rest of our settlements. It's got a strong garrison, so we should be alright for now. If things start looking hairy, we can recruit an emergency lord and hope for the best.
So we got Sorcerer Prophets, and we have Overseer. I think this might be the Chaos Dwarfs version of a Dwarf Lord. We got the Lord of Ashut, I think this is the Lord of Death, the Lord of Metal, and the Lord of Fire.
Anyway, we've only gone and collected a fair few influence points. Let's say we crack open the Tower of Zharr and see what's inside.
Ooh.
Okay, alright, I see how it is. 2 seats already taken. I guess that's what I get for savoring my rat stomping.
Wait a minute. The Legion of Asgore. I think this must be a Drazhoath. If this is Drazhoath's, then this guy down here might be Zatan. Hey, hold a minute. You guys look at the top of their banners? There's a bull on top. Yeah, it looks exactly like this one from the tabletop.
As the Tower of Zharr is split into industry, military, and sorcery. There are 4 tiers, 3 districts, and a whole lot of boons to gobble down, with the ultimate prize being the confederation of our fellow Chaos Dwarf.
Oh, so that's how you unite the Chaos Dwarfs. It's like the Kislev thing with the battle between the Ice Court and the Orthodoxy. But this one, you need to get more Conclave Influence to claim this.
To unlock the next tier, 2 full districts must be completed in the previous tier. Thanks to my like-minded kin, we're well on our way to achieving those ends. Not gonna lie, I did want the Machinator seat for the bonus to raw materials. We could dethrone them, we have the influence to do so, but we're still trying to play nice at the moment, so probably not the best of ideas. I'm a little miffed, but we'll park our bum on the blacksmith seat for now.
What do you do in the blacksmith seat? Armaments plus 25 per turn, and armament output plus 5%.
Extra armaments is nothing to sniff at, and by any means seats aren't permanent. We'll have another shot eventually. Or we'll build an economy so vast every seat is dwarfed beneath our all-encompassing buttocks. Politics.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. The military convoys is like the caravan mechanic for the Cathayans, but it's for the Chaos Dwarfs. Oh my gosh. You're sending a military convoy to Helman Gorst? Are you gonna give, like, guns to zombies or something?
You know what, the convoy will have to wait back to squashing rats.
2,000 years later.
I enjoyed that. There's something cathartic about watching Skaven run for their lives. Right then. The High Pass is now our industrial district. We're not accepting labour here, instead funneling it all into our mining district, which we've now converted into entirely outposts.
Okay.
I've opted not to build a tower in Karag Vlag. I'll use them more on my frontiers to hold our borders firm, much like our capital's been doing with the ogres, which is good because they're not friendly. Thanks to the Tower of Zharr and our Master of the Conclave talent, we're making diplomatic headway with our fellow Chaos Dwarfs. And we may need to call in some military favours soon if the Saberskins don't calm down. Anyway, right now we've got greener fish to fry.
Greener fish
The World's
to
Edge
fry?
Mountains is home to the Red Eye clan. More greenskins. And they're none too thrilled that we kicked their vampire friends out of the Silver Pinnacle. They're gonna be less than thrilled when we make them homeless. Positively upset when we put them to the mines. Whilst Astrategoff psychs himself up for more wholesome violence, we'll have our second army begin the recruitment drive for a pair of great Taurusai? Alright, let's do this. Gearing up for one big old war. Bring it on, orcs.
Yes, smash! But greenie. Get hammered.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
There we go then. 20 odd turns in and we've managed to claw ourselves into a somewhat steady footing. The Saberskin ogres are still causing us a little grief, so we'll likely put them down next. But by adding the World's Edge Mountains to our growing territories, we've opened ourselves up to attacks from Kislevites and our inferior mountain-dwelling cousins.
Oh, them.
Indeed,
That's a
the journey ahead
grudge.
is perilous, and Astragoff's gonna need a leg up if he... Oh! I just mean you could use a hand. I'm sorry. Look, what I'm trying to say is we've got a new epic quest with some stellar rewards up for grabs. The influence alone will set us forward, but the Black Hammer of Hashut is a must for any would-be master of the Conclave.
Control +1, ability, Black Hammer of Ashut, and weaponship +15%. Base weapon damage +50%, armor piercing weapon damage +50%.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Ah, thank you, Burndin, for keeping our flying cows warm. We'll put them to good use, worry not.
Have to see those guys in action.
Okay, here's the deal. We've got a derailed train and a very important payload to deliver. Our task, ensure the payload arrives at the victory point unscathed. Grabby goblins and opportunist orcs will use this narrow valley to their advantage, meaning we
They're
must be
protecting our
vigilant.
train.
That's right, kids. It's an escort quest.
So in this quest battle, your goal is to protect the train from an incoming enemy force. Okay, this is new. Can we also have that too with Cathay's caravan thing? Like you have to escort your caravans to the end of the map and then you win?
We've got a replacement train up and running, and I'd wager good money we'll see our first combat on one of these two bridges. Or both. For good measure, we'll split our forces into two crack teams with Astrategoff heading one and Nathalie the other.
There's the choo-choo train!
Ooh, there they are. We'll set our great Taurus on their archers and take the rest head on.
Get him, Bold! Ah, look at it go! Get bold! Oh, look at him go! Here comes the fireball! Woo!
As first waves go, it's immensely survivable. Bit of flanking, bit of magic, bit of vigorous stabbing, and they're running for the hills.
Oh, it's like I saw in the image.
As Astragoff's team continues to the next ramp on the other side of the valley, Nathalie's got a big old spider to squash. Rather them than me.
Get that spider, you gits! Let him go! The master flank.
It's a tougher crowd than Team A face, but nothing Nathalie can't handle. Meanwhile, more greenskins are pouring into the valley, and Astragoff's keen to meet them.
Get him, boy! Show him what you're made of. Boom! Bonk! Get him! One more hit! And he's dead. Spider down. Wait a minute.
Good job, Nathalie. We'll take Team B to the next ramp whilst Team A mops up the stragglers.
Gunshots?
Oh, I think the Great Taurus might be my new favourite unit.
Are you
Look
sure
at it
about
go,
that?
so beautiful, so graceful, so moo.
So moo. Also, these guys are gonna be perfect for Taurox's army.
Oh right, not too far from our destination now, and the payload's yet to be scratched. Whatever comes next weekend, oh, the bars are coming in. I should shut up. Enjoy the film.
Here comes the Bill Taurus. Or Braille Street 23.
You dare challenge me?
Look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out! Hard, hard, hard!
Yeah, boy.
Hold up!
Oh, they got a rogue idol. These guys got a rogue idol.
What is that?
Oh, brother!
Oh, man!
We're so happy seeing that thing come to life. And this goblin doesn't even care.
Fire them out! They got you! Run!
Guys, kill the rogue idol. I know it does.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
You dare challenge me?
Attack on Titan style. Who will win? Of course, Astro. Astro God! Astro God! Astro God! Yeah! Keep on, boss! Gotta say, pretty interesting campaign mechanic for the Chaos Dwarfs, and especially the lore of magic as well. So let's take a look at Drazhoath's video. But before we watch the new trailer, let's take a look at the Chaos Dwarfs unit cards. So first off, I think this must be our Chaos Dwarf warrior, your basic warrior with axe and shields and all that. Then we have the hobgoblins, a melee variant and a bow and arrow variant. Then next up we have some goblin slaves. We got the orc slave, and in between those guys, I think this might be the hobgoblin cutthroats. And they're throwing knives. So are they like the Noblar trappers? I think so. I think this might be the Infernal Guard with great weapons. This guy right here might be a Chaos Dwarf warrior with halberds. So So we got the basic Infernal Guard with their flaming hot helmet and their flaming axe. Then we have the Infernal Guard with the Iron Glaives. And next up, I think this must be Infernal Guard, or I'm thinking this might be the Infernal Ironsworn. Then next up, we have the Chaos Dwarf with the Blunderbuss, just like we saw in the gameplay video. Next up, we have the Bale Taurus, because that thing is on fire. Then next up, we got my two favorite units, the Gadai Fireborn and the Gadai Destroyer. Then we also got the Great Taurus that we saw in the video. Then we have the Chaos Dwarf Artillery. We got the Iron Demon with 2 cannons, and we got the Iron Demon Skullcracker. I don't know if this could be a Regiment of Renown, or maybe this could be a better variant of an Iron Demon. Then we got the Magma Cannon and whatever this is. And we also got the Dreadquake Mortar. And there's the Ogre carrying it. Can't wait to see this in game. Next up, we got some more unit cards for the Chaos Dwarf. First off being the Bull Centaurs. Look at them. Then we got the Lamassu. We got a Hobgoblins on Wolves with a bow and arrow. And we also got the melee variant for the Hobgoblin Riders. And we have, I think, this might be the Immortals. I think these guys right here, like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, might be the Regiments of Renown for the Chaos Dwarf. Like the first Regiments of Renown for this DLC. This might be a Regiment of Renown of the Chaos Dwarf with Blunderbuss. I think this one right here might be the Chaos Dwarf Warrior Regiment of Renown, and this one might be the Hobgoblin Riders Regiment of Renown. But I'm not sure. Maybe. Alright. Time to react to Drazhoath. Please tell me it's another POV. Ooh, we're in the factories. Look at them. Mining all day. What's that? Escape! Oh, look at them with the firelights! With the firelights! Look at them! Oh no! Yep, it's escape. Sneaky, sneaky, skinky. Ooh. I'm fairly sure he's been spotted. But by who? Of course, Drazhoath. Oh, it's fighting lizardmen! Oh, not the dinosaurs! They're fighting the dinosaurs! Oh boy, my favorite faction versus my other favorite faction. Oh, Fireborn! Oh, he can take his ass on fire. Oh, they got the great weapons. And we got the Iron Demons. The Legion of Escort.
Sorry to start with not much context in the middle of a battle, but these lizards have been on the horizon for ages, so it's about time.
Did they change the model of the thing? Or is it still the same one? I'm not sure, but it kind of feels like they changed it already. And oh my gosh, look at him! Drazhoath the Ashen on top of Cinder Breath. Let's freaking go.
We'll hit them with what I've been calling the Drazhoath 101.
Oh my gosh, it's the Skullcracker!
Artillery, firing lines, sorcery, Skullcracker, and of course, the great beast Cinder Breath. Okay, now that they've been dealt with, let me tell you what Drazhoath and his angry legion have been up to. So, due to the Ashen himself being exiled to the Black Fortress so long ago, our starting position isn't exactly an easy one, as the Black Fortress is stationed right in the corner. We're at turn 25 right now, and we've made some strides. We've got some luck starting with a 4-slot province. Noblar country has been transformed into a strong, efficient output for raw materials and armaments, and we've got the Great Drill built and ready. Those freaky vampires over in the Caravan of Blue Roses over in the corner have been ousted from the Haunted Forest, giving us room for yet another tower on the horizon. Karak Kraketon on the Ivory Road has also been taken from some enterprising Skaven. We've got a guy holding it for the meantime, and we'll either push further in for more materials and labor from some big ogre boys, or make some peace with the lads for a nice, profitable relationship. We've also been doing a few sacking runs to gain labor near Imric. And I think he's getting to the end of his tether with us.
And of course, finding his way to meet his one and only waifu, Miao Ying.
Know this, I will not remember you once I have slain you.
Are you sure about that?
Idling away on their little island in the far corner, they finally decided to pop their little heads up in our part of the world, saw our beautiful chaotic selves, decided that we didn't
That's
fit the
the
great
song
plan,
I took as well,
and they
yeah.
were having none of
I
it.
remember.
And, well, we saw how that went for them.
Yep.
Being in our little corner doesn't mean we haven't gone out to see the world, though. We
Okay.
deployed a convoy to go fetch us some labor. It did cost us a pretty penny in armaments, but
Okay.
with the incoming labor we can hit the ground running with our thriving, happy workforce, and instantaneously build ourselves a brand new industrial powerhouse.
But the Iron
And I know
Demon!
just the place to manifest it. Gorda's Backstabber, a
yeah.
legendary hero and a hobgoblin of renown who's
at
more than
this
proven himself
boy.
useful to our cause, has been sent on a little excursion to the Plane of Bones. Another 4-stack province I think we can make some real use out of. We need all the raw materials and armaments we can get as we gear up to take on the Karazakarak expedition. Their army will be a great sacrifice to Hashut.
Karazakarak expedition? Hold up. First Marcus expedition, then Thorax expedition. Now them? Hold up. Could this be hinting to another dwarf legendary lord for the dwarves? I'm not sure.
As a clear and open message to the rest of the Tower of Zharr that Drazhoath is back and means business. What better way to send a message to the other Chaos Dwarfs than completely crushing our non-chaotic counterpart? To get that, we're going to need armaments to up our capacity and capabilities in the hellforge. So, welcome to the hellforge, your one-stop shop for all things terrifying and most likely Geneva Convention breaking.
What?
Luckily though, Geneva's not here.
This is like the Beastman thing, where you can upgrade their capacity and then you can recruit more of them.
Namely, Chaos Dwarf warriors and their blunderbuss brethren.
Yes.
We'll want to bolster this number out a bit more as we progress, as well as bring in some infernal units and war machines. It's not all about numbers though. As we increase how many units we can recruit, we can also unlock additional upgrades for our units. These can be quite costly, and they'll add on to our armaments expenditure per unit per turn.
You can upgrade them.
But it'll increase their effectiveness in the field. Okay, that's a lot of talking and a lot of war planning. We've got a lot of laborers here, and they need new assignments. The Iron Fist of the Legion and the Fiery Anger of Drazhoath and Cinderbreath are pointed firmly at you, Imric. Pivarta's garrison is seriously lacking, almost as if Imric did the classic high elf thing of looking down his nose at us for too long. It's a common misstep, nothing that a happy hobgoblin and an infernal engine can't fix. Chaos Dwarf warriors aren't the quickest, but Gordas and his hobgoblins are perfectly capable at holding their ground until they arrive. Once they're in, the Knights of Caledor will get acquainted with the tidal wave of iron and hatred that is the Zharr.
Get wrecked, Imric. Where's your dragon now?
Well,
friend?
we've certainly forced Imric's hand now. This, however, isn't our only front. For starters, we do have some issues to deal with in Noblar country. As we're going on the offensive, we're going to be gaining more labor, which can actually have its issues. Control back in our home province is dropping quite heavily due to the labor populace. I imagine they're all talking, you know? Talking about such frivolous prospects like bathroom breaks and lunch hours. I bet they're even considering the concept of paid overtime. We can settle their little ideologies by utilizing labor to rush production. But I'm going to keep matters in line for a few turns by setting an example. A missing guardrail here, a wrong type of ladder handed off there. This should hopefully keep matters in line. Our other front is the caravan. If we're unlucky, there might be many hardships on the road that we'll encounter. Chaos Dwarf hardware, after all, is nothing to scoff at. And to say that we're proficient in making enemies is, is quite the understatement. If they fail, it's going to make creating a new industrial zone a lot more difficult. But moving on pig barter has opened our eyes to a potential contingency. Darkhold is part of this province, and it happens to just be a ruin. I don't buy that for a second though. Where there's ruins, there's rats. And where there's rats, there's a possibility that big, man-sized rats that don't know what am I doing. We're not the Empire, we're the Zharr. It's Skaven. There's Skaven in them there hills. And if I have to diversify my upcoming workforce, You bet I will.
Oh, look at him go.
Oh, look who it is. Stinking rats. We'll be hitting the rats with the same tactic we had in Pig Barter. We'll pepper them with artillery as well as magic from Drazhoath, utilizing Cinder Breath's flying speed.
Whoa!
At that point, it's all iron, gunpowder, coal, and hate. Choo-choo! Oh, come on, you know I needed to make it.
Chainsaw supplies. With the blood god in it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so my anger might have gotten the better of me, and by doing this, we may have made things a bit more difficult for us here by angering the Skaven, which leaves us with a dilemma. On one hand, we're already taking land from the Knights of Caledor, and it'd be proficient for us to keep our labor in this region alone. However, on the other hand, Clan Rictus might be a little sneaky, and could potentially try to sneak up on Noblar County, while our primary legion is destroying Imric's boys. We need to recoup our losses and muster some new units. So for the meantime, we'll hang in Darkhold and see what happens. So we've hit our first dilemma with a convoy here. If we spend cargo, we'll get less labor coming in.
You can recruit a black dragon? This is way better than recruiting Imperial soldiers or a elven noble or an ogre for your Cathayan caravan.
But on the other hand, I'm not really up for saying no to a dragon. Speaking of dragons, the dragon nerd Imric himself has left the Fortress of Vorag. I guess I'm not the only one with a potential Skaven issue, but it'd be foolish not to pounce on the opportunity. So let's move on in and make ourselves welcome, shall we? Time is of the essence, so we've no time for siege weapons. We're utilizing ladders, the Skullcracker for the gate, and Drazhoath brutalizing the gate garrison. Once we're in, let's let the Skullcracker let loose. With our guns on the wall, we run the penitentiary.
Get wrecked. Fire away, boys. Line them up. Escort us back. Look at me nose. I'm going to stand it. I love the dating bomb.
With the Knights of Caledor overcome in their fortress by iron and magic, it was only a matter of time before they crumbled before the Legion of Escort.
Back Asturians. Yes, it is.
The Fortress of Vorag is ours, and a tower is raised in Hashut's glory, and we earned ourselves a new gift in the process. The Kadai Fireborn, demonic fire elementals bound by Chaos Dwarf sorcery and adorned in Darwizar armaments. Their ferocity makes them exceptional flank troops, and precisely what I want in my army. We do, however, have more trouble on our hands. First off, we have this hero unit hanging around outside, and she's ruining the vibe, to be honest.
Really?
Gordas, deal with her. Gordas, way to go, mate. Truly living up to that surname.
He's got dice on his hands. Yeah. Good job on you.
Our convoy is under attack, and a strategic question for the ages has been posed to us. Do I slaughter, or do I massacre? Never before has a question been asked to a general that is so intense. I'll think on it as I crush these Darwi into dust. And I'll let the result determine which we did, whilst Drazhoath marches on Imric at Anarel's tomb.
They have a dragon in their army, that's so cool. So gotta go, the Iron Demon. Kill the Forge! That's gonna be a grudge! Oh, you better believe that's a grudge!
I think I'll deem this one a slaughter. I love dragons. Maybe Imric had the right idea. So all that's left in our grand plan is taking Anarel's tomb. I like what you did with the province, Imric, but I think we can do better. No hard feelings, mate. It's just business.
Sergeant boys! Know these elves who's boss?
Imric has brought the numbers, and while we're not lacking ourselves, we're going to have to use our units to our advantage. Our firing lines have the capacity to drop whatever he throws at us at the speed of however quickly they can reload. He's also trying to send some archers around the side, but we can counteract that with the speed of the fireball.
Innovations! We're better than ever. Get Chainsaw Man!
The Kadai aren't the only people bringing the fire, though. Give them a taste, Cinderbreath. Our Skullcracker is already getting started by tending to the fields. A bit preemptive, we've only one now, but hey, we need a nice place for Cinderbreath to relax in. Look at him frolic. So, with Imric off the board and these lands firmly under our control, we can get to further bolstering our infernal machine and prepare to take on those pesky Dawi. This is a definite victory for us, despite our losses. We'll need to regroup for a bit, gather our strength, and bolster up our army. Once we're at full strength, we march on the expedition. And we're gonna bring a new friend with us.
Eventually.
Wait, hold on, what's that? Oh, so that's where you went, Tretch.
Tretch Craventail!
What fitting behavior for a rat. We've established a bit of a foothold here, and I want my province back under my full control. Tretchy has made this personal, so I'm going to expend some of my labor to build a Dreadquake mortar, primarily to hurt him. While I'm also preparing, as it will take us a few turns to reach Darkhold, I've also got some Conclave Influence, and Floor 2 has opened up in the Tower of Zharr. I still need a bit more influence for some of the unlocks here, and wait, hold on. Someone's taken one of my seats. Zatan! Oh, come on, man. I thought we were pals in like a Cold War and not really pals kind of way. You're lucky you're the focus of the next episode, or I swear on her shit. Anyways, anger aside, we need to strategize. I'm going to add modifications in the hellforge for our units to spice them up, as we're still lacking a bit in numbers, and we need every advantage we can get. We're also bringing in 2 regiments of renown. The Blazing Beards, Chaos Dwarf warriors with beards that fill me personally with fear, and Hashut's favorite engine, the Demon's Tongue.
No!
Focus on yourself, Tretch. I'm gonna scorch your earth and break whatever affront of vehicle technology this thing is. Ugh, so primitive. I'm cursing that Doom wheel with the curse of Hashut, just as Tretch's reinforcements arrive. Right, so what does this button do?
Hold up!
What is that?
That's a really fun button. Well, we've successfully discarded any bravery those reinforcements of Tretch has had, which leaves us with a nice little massacre to have
They
here.
have tapped the bomb from tabletop.
I'd say thank you for the warm-up, but I think we're hot enough. Whew. Well, that was commendable, if dishonorable, Tretch. Have fun in the mines, rat. So, with Tretch's forces blown to Kingdom Come, we've eked out a victory here, but the expedition is still on the horizon. I need to take more time to recuperate and rebuild my forces. But I've got some spicy projects going on at the Black Fortress. It's going to be an interesting time for the Karazakarak expedition, by the time I get around to them.
One eternity later.
So, here we are. We've rebuilt up our forces, bolstering here and there. We've got some nasty new tricks up our sleeve with a new tower seat. And we're throwing everything we can at this. We need them dead if we're going to show the Tower of Zharr how badly Astrategoff messed up for exiling us all our years ago.
Whoa, Astragoff banished Drazhoath?
We also managed to summon a new friend into the fray for the battle too. Karazakarak expedition, say hello to the Kadai Destroyer. Luckily, we've got a meat shield line of laborers here too, which is convenient considering we took our time looking cool, arriving in slow-mo. No apologies, they understand. Let's sacrifice some Dawi, shall we? For Hashut. We'll send the Kadai Destroyer in first to deal with their frontline units, to replace the grudges in their hearts with fear. Oh, some lads are trying to pull a sneaky flank. I don't think the gyrocopters were ready for Cinderbreath though.
Yeah, they're not ready for that. Their helicopters are no match for a flying bull. Look at them go, smash magic. Oh, look at this golden.
While the
like,
Kadai are
golden
out here
dolphins.
having the best time one can have while bound to Darwizar technology, we'll use our new tower seat to spawn in even more Fireborn
Oh, we
to
can
flank
summon
these
more?
would-be flankers. How unfortunate.
Yeah, like
Admittedly, the
Shakti
only
one.
people here I feel sorry for, though, are the laborers. The destroyer is quite excitable, but it's okay, we'll get more.
Yeah, there's always replacements.
Get more laborers, right?
Look at them go.
Snatch and run! Fucking me, we need to beat them! Snatch and run! Monster kill!
Here he comes. We're screwed up. Oh, you better believe that's a grudge. That's gonna be a grudge. That's gonna be a grudge. Fire blades! Boom! I didn't expect that you can recruit a freaking dragon as a unit for your convoy. That is way better than an ogre, an elf, and a bunch of imperial soldiers from the Empire helping you deliver those goods. I love it. The Kadai Destroyer, the Kadai Fireborn, the Iron Demons, and all the other units. But we're still missing the Lamasu. I'm guessing the Lamasu will be shown in Zatan's video. Before we watch that one, let's take a look at the FLC. Here it is, the Total Warhammer 3 FLC that's coming along with the Chaos Dwarfs. It's Ulrika Magdovah Drazhoath. Creative Assembly confirmed earlier that Ulrika Magdovah Drazhoath, a much beloved vampire from the pages of many a Black Library novel, will become in Total Warhammer 3. And what's more, she'll be free. A vampire? A vampire? That's right. As the Chaos Dwarf expansion hits, Ulrika will be right alongside them. She'll be available as a new legendary hero, really available to the Kislev and Empire factions. What? Already a skilled horsewoman and sword fighter from a young age, she was turned into a vampire against her will by Lord Adolphus Krieger, a vampire himself. Proficient in melee combat, deadly at range, and skilled as a spellcaster, Ulrika is best of both worlds, taking traits from the vampire counts and Kislev. Ulrika lies alongside the Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs and is available exclusively with your CA account. Whether it's magic-aided weaponry to enhance defenses of her transformative healing powers, Ulrika will protect her kin and her allies at all costs. This is what it takes. You must unlock Ulrika to discover her true potential in the battlefield. Unique abilities: Silver Dagger, Blood Shard, the Dancing Blade, and Sialander's Bomb. Skills: Loyalty to the Motherland, Bloodforge, Bloodborne, Vampire Slayer, Beast Slayer, Dragon Slayer, Blight of the Escape. Alright guys, time to react to Zatan the Black. Also guys, just so you know, I just changed my shirt and I'm also wearing a blue kimono just to watch the trailer in style. It's a Lamasu! Yes! It's a Lamasu! It's way better than the tabletop. Wait a minute. Is that Zatan? He's on top of a Lamasu! The war host of Zharr.
Well, Zoltan isn't a happy chap, is he? I'm sure I left workers here.
Wait, he's in Sylvania?
As my
Let's find
work's
the
efficiency is
vampires.
only 80%, I know something's wrong. Under the labour economy panel, I can see all of my settlements and how much labour I have in each. It seems I've run out of labour because new intake wasn't on. My home region of the Blasted Waste is overflowing with eager workforce. Let's do some shuffling around and get Blackwater back up and running.
If this is the new slave mechanic, then they should also copy-paste that for the Dark Elves as well.
It's always a good idea to come back to this panel often, especially when you've got a big empire.
Yep.
Too many lazing layabout labourers will cause constant control concerns. So use them, misuse them, spend them on fast building, but make sure you don't have a great exit. With that in mind, I'll turn off intake for a few of my more supplied regions. That way, new labour goes where it's needed most. Now, you see, I'm not saying I hate my lesser downkin, but if they were all out of the way, I would certainly hate them less. Just imagine, factories as far as the eye can see, Mines in every mountain.
Yes.
Hello, I like money.
Let's take a quick gander at my current empire. Overall, I've gone for a very mine-heavy infrastructure, meaning I've built way more outposts than factories. And I've only built 2 towers as I didn't want to split my raw material spending too wide. But now I want to start using that raw material and have it turned into armaments. This means building factories. Lots of factories.
Easy money!
Our totally not evil plan to build a massive drill is going well. I built the 2nd stage. I do have enough raw material for the 3rd stage, but there's still a few things I want before I build it. Mainly the Temple of Escort. While my workforce keep working their little fingers to the bone, we need to infuse the drill with some magical artifacts.
Ooh! And just like in a video with me and Ron, dude, we need to claim Dwarven relics in order to activate it. It's like the Tomb King story campaign where you have to find all the books to unlock the Black Pyramid and stuff. But this one is for Hashut.
I have one from a roaming dwarf army that strayed a little too close to me. They are now willing workers in my mines. As for the next 3, we have several options. There are 2 types of relic, lesser and major.
And it seems here we can either do 2 options. Either we use it for the drill, which will empower it and corrupt the relic, or we can claim it for ourselves, that will give us the item called the Hammer of Smithnia, and we can get extra Conclave Influence. So when you get a relic, you can either claim it for yourself or empower it with the drill. Okay, that's pretty interesting.
And if you didn't guess, major relics give you more than lesser relics.
Yes, that's true.
You need to attach 4 to the drill to complete the quest, but you can get them all if you wish. I could then take a little jaunt to the west to claim the major ancestor relic of Rundi. You know what, I think that's the game plan. So it's time to stake my claim on the vamps and get my 2nd relic.
Is it just me or is that a game glitch?
I tell you, who needs a battering ram when you have a skull cracker? Zharr loves getting his axe messy, so he will charge headlong into the defenders on the wall, while Pitek will cause as much damage as possible with spells.
Okay, go! Ooh.
I'll have my bull centaurs, Infernal Iron Sworn, use the breach in the wall, which I have for completing the 1st military tier to the Tower of Zharr. They will start capping points in causing just general mayhem. Time to move my army up, ready for when the Skullcracker breaks down the gate. That was fast. In you go, lads.
Oh, yes, flaming head. It's denji time, baby. Get wrecked. Get chainsaw. Get pickaxe. On the go. Wait, whoa. The Infernal Iron Guard can also do nab the bomb? So for the dwarves, we have the Iron Breakers, and for the Chaos Dwarfs, we have the Infernal Guard. Whoa, what's this? Another spell too? Wrath of Zharr. Small forward moving area effect, good against armor. Oh, so the Chaos Dwarfs have their own artillery strikes. That's interesting. Fire away! Get wrecked,
The rest
zombies.
is simple. Flood the city with troops, capture the points, wipe out any
This
form of
basically shows
resistance,
that the
and
undead
it's game
needs a
over
rework
for the
right now.
rounds.
Especially with the dwarves. Get wrecked, you undead scumbags! Nothing beats a Chaos War! The 10! Woohoo! The city is ours, baby!
To get the relic, we need to occupy the settlement. Now, I'm gonna turn it into a factory, but I have always wondered, how good are zombies at mining? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Factory definitely the right choice. I'll take the relic and turn all of Sylvania from a vampiric hellscape to an industrial hellscape. I may as well upgrade it to a level 3 factory while we're here. Yeah, I don't see you there, Wagner. Karak Kadin would be an easy target for him, and as it's one of my few high-level factories, I don't really want to lose it. But I have a little trick I can utilize as the Chaos Dwarfs. All I need is money, labor, and a lack of conscience. I will build the guardhouse, then with my excess workforce I will instantly build it, rinse and repeat. Our second lord, Zul, has been gleefully burning the Eastern Oblast, providing us with a ton of labour and raw materials. Now to help Zartan, but for now, he can continue to sack settlements and bring in more labour. They're not the strongest army, but the look on their little faces they burn settlements to the ground really warms the heart. And finally, I can introduce our newest army, commanded by the one, the only, Draconhuman.
What is up with Chaos Dwarf names? Daktang Yuon, Daktang Yuon, Daktang Yuon. What is up with their names, bro? Daktang Yuon Bullbreaker.
I think Mr. Bullbreaker will do.
Yeah.
He will be marching north to claim the relics held by the ogres. Off you go on your merry way. And with that, we can end turn.
The Veil Taurus.
Looks like Wagner wasn't quite put off by our garrison. Thankfully, we put ourselves in a position where if we sally out and meet him, we should be able to take him on.
There you go. Bye-bye.
Good timing too, is it looks like Manfred was on his way to lend a bit of backup. I will bet all the workers in my mines that they will move on Castle Drazhoath the instant I move on. I'll move Zartan off using the underways to prevent attrition, build a guardhouse, and see what they do. I'll use the same trick as before and move some labour around. I'll need about 600 labour to get to tier 2, and if the vampires do decide to attack, that should give me a good chance at holding the city. Zul, make your way towards Prague. We should hopefully find lots of willing workers there. Zartan takes the tower with a decisive victory, giving me another factory. Bullbreaker will enter the mountains, and Zul, Prague is on the horizon. Right, yeah, here we go. We've been attacked by Ostland. Valiant defeat.
Ostland, aka Fake Kislev.
Now hold on!
Zartan, back you go. Well, that's disappointing. A much easier fight than I hoped for. Let's just auto-resolve this one. Should I turn Prague into a factory? Yes. Yes, I should. More factory means more armaments. And high quotas will work really nicely here. Bullbreaker keeps going north, crossing into ogre territory. And I think I'll start on the drill now, as it may take several turns. I will also turn intake back on for the blasted wastes, and quickly build the temple. It puts my overall efficiency down a little, but it's easily sorted. We can send out a convoy to get some more labourers. It's like playing whack-a-mole. Having taken Zartan out of the tower, the Vamps has now taken that too. I think the Empire and Vampire Counts have this strange alliance going on that I don't know about. Now, they only sacked it. Let's go ahead and take back Castle Drazhoath, and then time to clear out this area. Or you can head south by Kislev and attack the Drazhoath Conclave from the north. Mr. Bullbreaker, kill those ogres and get our third relic. Let's do some quick mopping up. DJ, give me some music.
Yeah. Zarina, get ready to meet your doom. You have a big drum, but I have a bigger drum. You have the other artillery thing. What's it called? Oh, that's the Death Shrieker rocket battery? Okay, so they changed it up a bit.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
There we go. Pituk took a little beating, but not too bad. And with that, my collection of relics is done. We have reached our goal. Now we have our final battle. But you may notice, I have a 5th relic. I secretly sent Mr. Bullbreaker up to the ancestral relic of Valia. As Zartan likes being in the fight, I thought I'd give him a shiny new ability to help him put those Dowie in their place. All that's left now is to jump into this final battle.
What is the drill? It's the drill! Look, the gyrocopters! Oh! It's the big drill! And there's guards! Yeah. explaining what's happening or something. The Chaos Dwarf economy! There's like Mordor! And the ogre carrying it! Oh gosh! Load it up! Fire it all! Llama stew! Looking thrifty as heck. Oh, it's a defense battle. Okay. It's a survival battle. Not defense battle, it's a survival battle. Our goal is to protect the drills from the dwarven invasions. That's a grudge! But you can't stop the might of the fire games! It's like the picket charge in the American Civil War. They're not scared by Mordor! It's denji, Dad! Use some quick shit to get back! He's gonna want the enemy again. Look at it go! The Chaos Dwarfs are so weak! Lovely! Even some more trying to fight too? Okay. Let's a quest battle, we have to check it out for ourselves. Wow, that was amazing. At least in this video, we get to see the llamas too. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to all of the 3 Chaos Dwarf gameplay showcases, showing, of course, the 4 legendary characters: Astragoff, Ironham, Drazhoath the Ashen, Satan the Black, and Gorda's Backstabber. And all the units like the Kedai Fireboard, Kedai Destroyer, Hobgoblin, Thor Orc Slave, Infernal Iron Guard with big explosives, the Iron Demons, including the Skullcracker, and of course the Dreadquake Mortar, the Bull Centaurs, the Great Taurus, the Pale Taurus, and the Llamasu. I love it, CA. Keep up the good work, especially with the upcoming DLCs. But for now, we'll have some fun with the Chaos Dwarfs on April 13th. If you guys want to see some more stuff in my content, consider liking this video, and also don't forget to subscribe and slap the bell and comment down below what you want me to do next. Plus, they all support my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!